These are the most suspicious moments Family Guy has ever created.
I think she's choking. Should we wake her up?
No, she's got to learn to breathe out of her nose. She's getting it.
It is chaos wrapped in confusion, dipped in pure cartoon nonsense. So if you think you have seen the strangest moments this show can offer, think again. Let's start the show. In Season 16, Episode 17, the chaos begins instantly when Stewie decides Brian needs a better life and casually rolls out a particle interchange transporter like it is a household appliance. Brian starts the day doing his usual sad dog routine, complaining about failure and disappointment. Before he can even finish one pity sentence, Stewie tells him that they can trade their bodies. Only this show would treat something that insane like a normal Tuesday afternoon.
So when you said spend a day in my body, you were being literal?
That's right, Brian.
Brian reluctantly agrees, and within seconds, the two are staring at each other through brand new bodies.
Wow, this is really weird. It feels like...
Hey! What the hell have you been complaining about?
Brian panics while trapped in a tiny diaper body that creaks like a squeaky toy. Stewie is thrilled to be inside a dog body that can walk without wobbling. And immediately, Stewie decides Brian needs a makeover. He gets Brian a job teaching at a university, but Brian fails instantly because he does not even know what a frontispiece is. College students roast him so hard that even from space, I sensed the embarrassment. Then Stewie tries to get Brian a girlfriend by taking him on a bathroom date that ends with the girl trying to eat him.
Help! She's trying to eat me!
Get back here! You owe me $100!
Just as the two decide to switch back, Peter and Chris get into their daily wrestling match. They slam into the machine. It malfunctions. A shockwave blasts through the house, and suddenly bodies scramble like someone pushed a cosmic shuffle button. Stewie becomes Peter, Brian becomes Chris, Chris becomes Brian, and Peter becomes Stewie. Remember that.
If I'm in Chris's body, he must be in mine. He's got to be freaking out.
What the hell have you been complaining about?
Instead of anyone fixing this, immediately, Lois drags Stewie on a weekend retreat. But this is not a hiking trip or a mindfulness camp. This is a couples seminar where husbands learn how to take care of their wives. Yes, a mother takes her son to a couples seminar. No human scientist has ever explained why this show thinks this is acceptable, because it simply is not.
Brian, you've got to help me. Lois signed us up for some perverse PP-related class on the female orgasm. She's crazed.
Wow.
Brian and Chris try to reach Stewie, but get stopped by the ghost of Brian's questionable bathroom history. They crash their car into a telephone pole, which sends another shockwave across town, swapping even more people.
Joe, thank God. We need to get to the Weekapog Inn fast. Can you drive us?
No.
Running out of time, Brian has to repair the machine remotely. The only power source strong enough is a giant cell tower. They climb it, argue on it, nearly fall off it. And all while Lois gets hungrier by the minute, which honestly might have been the biggest threat in the episode.
Munch a bunch of Fritos!
No!
A perfectly timed lightning strike hits the tower and finally resets everybody back to normal. Well, normal for them, which is not saying much.
You didn't listen to a word Dr. Johan said, did you?
No, I did not.
This entire episode is proof that Family Guy has no fear of placing its characters into situations that no human family should ever encounter. And somehow, the next moment is even stranger. In Season 22, Episode 11, the show jumps straight into one of its strangest arcs by having Lois take a substitute teaching job at Chris's school.
Don't you need a master's degree to teach?
A master's degree is needed, and I told them I had one.
You lied?
She puts on a simple wig and somehow transforms into the kind of woman teenage boys would fight each other, like they are competing for a golden ticket. The second she steps into the classroom, every boy in the room forgets English and turns into a drooling caveman, banging desks and staring at her like she is the last woman left on Earth.
Oh, I want to know when this went from history class to wood shop.
Chris is mortified. He is the only kid in class who is not acting like his brain fell out, but that somehow makes him look even more suspicious.
Don't you think she's hot?
Yeah, I guess she's a total hottie.
When the boys see Chris getting into the car with her after school, they instantly jump to the worst possible conclusion.
Whoa, Griffin's a selfless lover.
It's so great he's having sex.
The rumor spreads through the school in seconds, like they all have telepathic Wi-Fi, and Chris becomes a legend overnight. The insane part is that Chris does not even correct them. He panics and blurts out that yes, he slept with her. And now the entire school thinks Chris is in a forbidden romance with the hottest teacher on campus campus, who also happens to be his own mother. But popularity fades fast in this universe. When the boys demand a picture as proof, Chris reaches peak panic. He tries sneaking into the bathroom to take a secret shower photo, then shows it to the boys. Lois now in trouble, because the photo spread fast.
Miss Pewterschmidt is sleeping with a student. Here's the proof. That's her.
This is when Lois steps in. She sees how crushed Chris is, and realizes that telling the truth will destroy him socially. So she does something no mother should ever have to even consider.
Chris Griffin was the biggest thing I ever had.
In Season 11, Episode 7, Meg decides to chase the boy she likes named Kent, and the episode instantly turns strange in the most Family Guy way possible. She tries to flirt with him in the hallway, and even imagines some fantasy romance moment so dramatic it belongs on a paperback cover you buy at a gas station. But when she finally asks Kent out, she gets hit with the twist that sends her world into chaos. Kent is gay, and worse, he is gay for Chris.
Look, I really like you as a friend, but to be honest, I like Chris.
What?
Meg does not handle this news like a normal human. Her whole brain melts into a puddle, and she convinces herself she can fix everything by forcing Kent and Chris together. She tells herself that if Kent hooks up with Chris, then somehow that will make him straight. Her logic is broken. Her morals are broken. Everything is broken except her determination to make this disaster happen.
Well, if Kent hooks up with your brother, you could just have Chris describe every last detail to you.
Oh my god, that's it?
She follows Chris around, begging him to be with Kent. She literally begs. She tries to talk him into it. She tries bribing him with attention. She even suggests that Chris could just tell her every single detail afterward. She wants to play-by-play like she is ordering a podcast episode. It is one of the most bizarre motivations Meg has ever had. When Chris refuses for the 50th time, Meg decides to take the darkest shortcut she can imagine. She grabs a cup of Kool-Aid. She dumps something into the drink and stirs it like a witch, mixing a potion. The plan is simple and evil. Then it happens. She cannot do it. She backs out. She decides she cannot drug her own brother. The problem is that Kent does not know she backed out. He sneaks into the room anyway, ready to live out what he thinks is a romantic moment.
Oh, hell no! Meg!
Oh my god, Kent, I just texted you that the plan was off.
When Chris and Kent realize what Meg intended, both boys stare at her like she is a supervillain who lost her own origin movie.
What? What is wrong with you?
And Kent, I owe you an apology too.
And this is why this episode sits so high on your list. It is messy, dark, uncomfortable, and the kind of thing only Family Guy would ever attempt with a straight face. In Season 17, Episode 12, Stewie decides to help Brian with the most Brian problem ever. Brian is having a birthday meltdown. He is whining about getting older, about not having a legacy, about wanting to write his big, important autobiography that nobody asked for, but he is sure the world is begging to read.
You know, I always did want to write my autobiography.
Yeah, it's hard to work when you get distracted whenever someone says, "What's that?"
What's what?
Stewie listens to all of this, and instead of offering therapy or a notebook, he walks downstairs and builds a full-on robot version of Brian. He rolls it out like a birthday present. This is not a book, Brian. This is way better. This robot knows your habits, your mannerisms, your opinions, your terrible takes on politics. It will keep learning about you and exist long after you are gone. It is your biography as a machine, your legacy in metal form.
This is how you'll be remembered forever.
Whoa, ass ahoy.
He says that a lot.
They start hanging out like it is the most natural thing in the world. Brian takes himself to the park. Brian talks to himself on the couch. Brian reads his own novel to his robot double. And Robot Brian starts crying real tears over Brian writing about Brian. It is the purest form of self-obsession the show has ever animated.
Yeah, this is fine. This isn't weird.
Then Stewie casually drops the most cursed detail. He put a sensor on the rear panel of the robot, and every time that panel is opened or triggered, Stewie gets an alert on his phone, which means Stewie literally gets a ping every time Brian and Robot Brian decide to have some private time together. This is the whole point Stewie was aiming for. Brian wanted to write an autobiography, and Stewie wanted to teach him a brutal lesson. Nobody wants to read your self-worship novel because the version of you that you adore is unbearable when seen from the outside. The robot was never really about preserving Brian. It was about forcing him to confront the truth that his biggest fan and his biggest hater are the same person, himself.
Brian, you wanted to write your autobiography, and I needed to show you that no one wants to read your autobiography. Not even you.
In Season 20, Episode 11, everything starts with Peter doing something stupid, which is always a solid warning sign that the episode is about to get weird in a way only Family Guy can deliver. He suddenly remembers that it is Valentine's Day and decides to celebrate the occasion by buying his wife a gift, a home workout bike.
How dare you buy me something that suggests I need exercise?
This is a loud way to say thank you.
He uses her angry mom voice that makes even the audience feel guilty, but once the dust settles, she decides to give it a try. She hops on the bike, and for the first few minutes, she is just Lois. Regular mom Lois. Then the bike program kicks in, and suddenly she starts transforming like she fell into a Dragon Ball Z montage. She loses her period, she gains muscle mass that looks like she trained with Dwayne Johnson underwater. Her voice gets deeper, her arms get bigger.
Hey, little man.
Lois? But you're hot!
And this is where the show goes from funny to what are we even watching? Every time Lois picks him up, his imagination snaps into these heavy-breathing EDM fantasy sequences. It is dramatic, sweaty, awkward, and the tone is so serious, it somehow makes it even more ridiculous.
Is everyone watching? Are they impressed with how quickly I refracted?
These fantasies keep happening. Stewie is basically glitching every time she walks into the room. He is trying to talk to Brian about it, like he is going through his first crush. Brian is halfway through a date, and Stewie interrupts him purely to talk about how much Lois touched his face earlier. Things reach peak strange when Lois offers Stewie something innocent, like sleeping in the big bed, for comfort, and Stewie takes it like a full romantic invitation. He spends the whole night thinking he is on the verge of something dramatic. He even asks who he should tell first, as if this is a scandal.
But tonight is the night it is going down.
What's it?
Capital I, capital T.
Eventually, Lois returns to normal, because the bike is basically a cursed object that gives you muscles and then steals your sanity. The moment she shrinks back to her regular body, Stewie snaps out of his entire attraction arc instantly. He jumps off the bed like someone unplugged his feelings, and he announces he is done.